Thomas Edison, Winston Churchill, Albert Einstein, Michelangelo, Mother Teresa. But whether it's social impact, whether it's in battle, whether it's through their art, or whether it's through their philosophy, each of them had a profound impact on the world. But what do they all have in common? Every single one of them took action on something they believed in, and it ended up changing the world. As we try and discover what living a more meaningful life looks like, let's learn from these greats and understand how action can be the catalyst for both changing yourself, changing your life, and ultimately changing the world. Action, simply put, is just doing, as opposed to not doing, as opposed to being passive or inert. And it's interesting to see how applying this simple idea of action to different parts of our life can have a butterfly effect into other areas. Some of the key thinkers of our time, for example Marcus Aurelius, really highlight how important action is in building a life that is meaningful. In his book, Meditations, he says, "No more abstract discussions about what a good man is, just be one." And I think that's so poignant in that you can talk and think and pontificate on what makes something meaningful, but at the end of the day, the way you're measured on it is through your actions. We can see the same thing in the Bible, in James chapter 1 verse 22, where it says, "But don't just listen to God's word, you must do what it says." Now, this isn't to dismiss thinking. It isn't to dismiss processing. It isn't to dismiss the idea of listening and processing and thinking and taking time to establish what you believe. What it is doing is saying, once these things are done, you must take action to solidify the impact and solidify the meaning into your own life. So I want to talk about what makes action such a catalyst for change in yourself and in those around you. It is undeniable that action can change your psychology. There's a few ways that this can happen. Firstly, through an idea called cognitive dissonance, which is where you have your action and your beliefs or thoughts or your identity in a manner which is not aligned. They aren't in alignment with each other, and that's called cognitive dissonance. So in some ways that might cause for struggle or confusion within yourself, and that's all right, but also it can be used as a tool. So let's say you are in alignment with your thoughts and your actions, but you want to change something. Well, you can either change your beliefs first, but that might be tricky. You can change your beliefs or thoughts, but getting out of that habit might be really hard. So what you can do instead is use your actions as a catalyst for that. For example, you might have the thought in your mind of like, I am not the kind of person who works out. I'm not the kind of person who works out. I don't like running. I don't like going to the gym. I'm not that kind of person. Well, we can use the cognitive dissonance theory to pull your thoughts and beliefs more towards the reality that you want, which is to be someone who works out. So if you start to use your actions to say, I'm going to go to the gym, I go to the gym, the high that you'll get from that dopamine hit from going, will cause the dissonance to be stronger between the two, but it will also pull the way that you think towards this action that you've done. Oh, well, maybe I am the type of person that would go to the gym. Maybe I am the type of person that goes for a run. And slowly over time, as these dopamine hits come, you then begin to build a neural pathway, a stronger neural pathway. And you use this idea of neural plasticity to using the repeatable action, keyword action, the repeatable action will build consistency in the way that you think and the way that you act to make a new neural pathway. Now, as I was thinking about all of this, I remembered something that my mum used to say when we were children, and it really stuck with me. She said, the way we spend our days is, after all, the way we spend our lives, which I think is probably a quote from somewhere that she's picked up, and I will look up where it's from, but it speaks a lot to the butterfly effect that we have as we live. As you change your actions, that changes your thoughts, which changes your beliefs. Your actions are what you do every day, and the compound effect of your actions and who you are and what you say affects those around you, which then affects the communities, the wider communities, which then affects the world. So I don't think we can underestimate the power of a simple change of action to the long-term effects of that action. We see it all the time. It's the idea of compound interest on money, or the compound actions of, if you do something over and over again for 10,000 hours, you become a master at it. The butterfly effect just grows and grows and grows. And so using this tool to change the way we think has the potential to impact our entire world. Now, I think if you look at the kind of framework of actions, thoughts, identity, you can kind of spin around the first three, and they loop all together. So you have actions which affect your thoughts, which affect your identity, but then also your identity affects your actions, and your thoughts affect your actions. So those first three really feed into each other, but there's no denying that the action is the part which takes it from yourself and which gives you the possibility of taking it global, to affect those around you, to affect your communities, and to affect your world. This is only scratching the tip of the surface around actions and how they can change your life. I'm sure that there are far more studies, far more books about it that could delve into it deeper, but I think that's a great place to start. So what am I going to do out of this? Well, I'm going to keep trying to work on those actions and habits that I talked about in my last video. Spending time in silence, becoming the type of person that is around my friends more, choosing to create, trying to take action to create, to spur more creativity. All of these things are habits that will stack, but also actions that will stack to literally change the way that I think and the way that I act. And so I'm excited to see how, as I keep doing that, it helps affecting those around me and hopefully more and more people. The butterfly effect. So I'd be interested to hear what you're thinking about. What's the action that maybe you haven't taken that could be the catalyst for changing the way that your brain works, or changing the way you think about a topic? Are you afraid to do something and you just need to take that little very first step that makes you realize, oh, this is something that is actually quite achievable. Maybe I am this kind of person. And let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear. Well, we'll catch you in the next video. And if you liked this video and want to watch another one, check it out here.